welcome to the Total Country Podcast.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the Total Country Podcast. My name's Kevin and thanks for joining me today. Today's guests are the superb Californian Natives Haley and Michaels, full name Shannon Haley and Ryan Michaels, before they get married anyway. They met in 2011 in Nashville and married in 2015, and they've been working the circuit for many years. But in 2019 they released their debut album, Hail Mary, which features a single by the same name, which has an amazing video recorded at the Levi Stadium, home of the San Francisco 49ers American football team. They hope to come over to London in March and properly introduce themselves to UK fans, but we all know why that didn't happen. These two were an absolute dream to chat to. We had so much fun that we had to stop our general chat and get on with the job at hand. I'm not going to say much more about this one, as I don't want to spoil the interview, except this is a fantastic introduction to a duo who make great music and who are so passionate about breaking the UK country scene. Here we go. My interview with Haley and Michaels. So I am joined by Haley and Michaels now. Hello, you two. How are you?
Hello.
Good. How are you doing,
Thanks
man?
so much for having us.
No, thanks for coming on. How are things currently for you then? Firstly, congratulations.
Thank
You've
you.
got a daughter due in, is it October?
Late September. Originally it was early October, but they moved us up. So
Yeah, she was kicking pretty significantly the other night. I thought it might be a lot sooner than that.
She's like, "Get out of here!"
But you mentioned before we started recording how, because of that, you've been able to just kind of chill and relax at the moment. That must be quite nice, because I imagine a lot of the time you're busy.
Absolutely. I mean, for the past 2 years, we've been out on a radio tour, and we've been to over 150 different cities, and it's just been a lot of time away from home. And so, the silver lining in all of this is that we have gotten to be at home a lot more than normal. And during the pregnancy, that's been a real gift. And as things are opening up, we're just playing it extra safe, just because, to be careful. But yeah.
Yeah, but we have enjoyed it. I mean, obviously pandemic aside, which obviously there's so much about that isn't positive. But I think that given, like Shannon said, how much we've been out, it has been nice to be in one place. And, we have lots of plans, certainly next year to travel. We're releasing a song here. Radio here, but then obviously something we're really excited about is coming back to the UK. So we plan to spend a lot of time on the road and gone from home. So yeah, we are enjoying things slowing down just for a minute.
Yes.
Good. And you've been doing a couple of live streams as well. I saw you done one for Nashville Meets London the other day.
Yeah, and that's just been such a highlight for us during this time, getting to connect to fans, and especially fans in the UK, because we've had the dream of building our presence there and releasing music there for years. And, it started this year with C2C, which we'll talk about, I'm sure, later. But, getting to be able to still have some type of connection and musical interaction with people during this time when we're not able to physically be over there has just been, it's been really great. We've loved it.
Yeah. So let's talk about it then. You guys are over for Country to Country in London, had quite a few sort of shows planned over the weekend, and then it got cancelled. You must have been gutted, like we all were, so disappointed.
Yeah, man, we were, for sure. I mean, coming over to the UK is something, it's not like we just were invited to C2C and we said, oh, let's go to the UK. I mean, going to the UK was something we had spent, a few years working towards. And C2C obviously was the ultimate introduction for us. And as we started planning, we just received so much enthusiasm from people over there about music and about our music. And so we were so excited not only to play for them, but we were excited for them because you could feel that. And that's what excited us about it. So, we certainly had some really positive things come from it anyway, as far as long term. We have a band in the UK. We've got a fantastic team and manager and all kinds of things.
So we got to spend some time ahead of that, ahead of the concert, actually working up the band and getting to see a few things.
But it was surreal though. Right before we left, we walked around, the venue at the O2, and it was definitely a little haunting.
Empty,
Yeah, it was empty. So, but it just makes us that much more excited to come back.
But you did get to go on the Bob Harris Country Show, didn't you, while you were over here, which is like the go-to country show in the UK.
It was a dream come true is an understatement. I mean, it was just that of course, as you said, yes, it is the go-to, and it is the highest level of dream that we could have had. And so the fact that we got to do that on our first trip over was just mind-blowing. And getting to meet, Whispering Bob and getting to hear his voice in person. I mean, he is just such a legend and so incredible. I could just sit there and listen to him talk and
very soothing. Very soothing.
Yeah. So that was a dream come true, because that was something that, we had really thought we were building towards that as well. Even, it's like, if we come over a few times and everything goes well, maybe next year at this time we could, meet Bob and have a shot to be on BBC, Radio 2. So that was definitely a silver lining. I mean, it's hard to talk about silver linings when there are so many people disappointed, including us. But that said, it really was special, and it was really cool of Whispering Bob and Mark Hagan over there at Radio 2 to put together the Radio 2 Country Festival for everybody. We also
consolation prize.
Consolation prize. Yeah.
So why the UK? What is it about the UK fans that made you think, this is a market we really want to focus on?
It seems to us, the energy. We started seeing messages trickling in a few years ago.
Just from music that we had out on streaming, and it was just reaching its way over there. And there seemed to be a real passion for new music, and not just, what was really surprising to us is that not just the songs that you're currently promoting, but the other songs that you've released too, where a lot of people might not normally take the time to go look into. But really, it just seems like music lovers from the UK kind of take that to a different level, and they're passionate about discovery and really learning all about an artist. So that's been.
I think that's a good point. Is over here, things are so driven by singles, by one song. Spotify has helped start to change that a bit. So there's a shorter shelf life, if you will. But in the UK, I mean, the messages we were getting were about kind of obscure tracks that we had put out. I think that was a part of it. And we certainly heard about, C2C, Long Road, Nashville Meets London. And so we had been hearing about it.
Ryan's grandma is actually from Leeds. And
wow.
So I have always loved the UK, and so it just for us was about getting our ducks in a row, making sure the timing was right. So when we decided to come to C2C, and they were gracious enough to invite us, it was one of the milestones in our career. So it was certainly surreal being over there, and we had the band worked up and ready to go. And it was like,
the day before the show, I think that was hard for everybody too, right? Just boom.
Yeah, I can imagine. So let's go back to the beginning. How did you guys form? I understand you lived really close to each other, but never knew each other until you moved to Nashville.
Yeah, it's crazy. We grew up 3 miles apart in California, and then didn't meet until we were in Nashville. And when we were both playing, the way we met is that we were both playing with the same electric guitar player in our solo projects, and he introduced us. And then when we met, we found out not only were we from 3 miles apart, but we had a lot of missed connections. And I used to buy my sheet music for the piano from his family-owned music store, from his grandma.
From my grandma from Leeds, who ran the sheet music department.
So, and we went up to all the same, restaurants and all of that stuff. So, but so when we met, we instantly felt a connection, and then had a lot of chemistry musically, and started writing and singing together pretty much right away.
And so I was in, we were solo artists at the time, and I was in a rock band, and we were playing at the Roxy Theater in Los Angeles, and Shannon had been making trips back and forth between Nashville and LA. And she got up and sang one song with my band, and that was pretty much all anyone wanted to talk about was, hey, when Shannon got up and sang with you guys, so, but we felt it, and that really propelled the songwriting process. And in the songwriting process, I think because we were solo artists, but we were also supportive of each other's music.
Yeah.
We were really making an effort. So, well, I could say this, then you could say this, and then we could take turns on who sings the lead. So that process of having both sides represented in the music really developed our sound, which is, pure duo, which is that neither one of us or both of us are the lead singer, depending on how you look at it.
Nice. So what were your influences growing up then? Did you have like similar tastes or?
In some ways, yes, and in some ways a little different. We both did grow up loving country music in that 90s, early 2000s country, which in California, it was not the cool type of music. So we bonded over that, and Garth Brooks and just a lot of those great country artists from that time. But then I had more kind of, pop singer-songwriter influences like Sheryl Crow and James Taylor and Carly Simon. And
I was more, leaning rock, U2, Bon Jovi, Guns N' Roses, some of that stuff. But, I think the through line was country songs. We're just songs about life. And I think so I think that's really become our sound. So, if you listen to it, you'll hear the rooted country songwriting that brought us to Nashville. But you'll also hear some arena rock and roll and some pop elements in the production. I think that's become, Haley and Michael's.
Yeah. When you were describing the your influences there, I thought, you can hear that. You can hear both sides of that 100%. Job done.
Oh.
So let's talk about, your new single that you're releasing for the UK is Hail Mary. That's right, isn't it? Why did you pick that one for UK fans? Apart from the fact it's an absolute banger.
Oh, thank you. Well, a couple of different reasons. We, one is that we wrote that song about overcoming adversities in our life, but then we have really been encouraged on how it's kind of taken on that anthemic meaning to a lot of other people too, that they might be going through something totally different than what we were, but they still relate to it. And that's been really cool. And because of everything that was happening in the world with the pandemic and people just feeling like a little helpless, we thought that the message would be really good to put out just at this time. And then also, we were super excited that we had this music video done by the 49ers. So we wanted to just get that out as much as possible. And we thought it was a good introduction for people who were trying to, first hear about us. So, yeah.
So let's talk about the music video then. As an NFL fan, I loved it. So if anyone's not seen it that's listening, it's filmed in the Levi Stadium, which is where the San Francisco 49ers play. It's floodlit, you've got some smoke, your name's up in lights. How did the opportunity to film that come about? Because it must have been amazing.
It was incredible.
You know what? I would say that in some ways it actually ties into the message of the song, which is, not going down without a fight. And certainly in the entertainment industry, there's moments when you have the spotlight on you and people are responding and you have momentum. And then there's moments where you start to say, well, are we the only ones that believe in what we're doing? And I think, we have this new music that we had made, and we were really trying to figure out the best way to go about getting it out in a way that we weren't thinking about the industry at all. We were thinking about what would be the coolest thing that we would be proud of to get this message out. And so we actually reached out to the 49ers, at some very odd hour. We sent an email and just told them that who we were, what we were doing. Here's our song. We're from the Bay Area, grew up watching the team, and didn't really think about it after that. And we were on a flight and got an email from the president of the team back.
Oh, wow.
Inviting us to Levi Stadium.
Crazy.
And so we didn't know when we were invited to Levi Stadium. We we just thought maybe, oh my gosh, they
we
were
get to go and check it out.
Yeah, they thought the email was cool, so they're going to give us a tour and a T-shirt. We didn't know what it was. But we ended up meeting with most of the front office, and one of those people was the team's VP and executive producer, Rob Alberino. And they gave us the tour of the stadium, as we hoped they would, and they did give us the shirts, but they were jerseys with our names on them. But they expressed interest in how can we work together? And so we just said, well, we have a dream of our hometown football team helping us break our first song on a national scale. And they were like, let's do it. So,
wow.
So that came with, we were just, obviously I could barely say anything as they were giving us the tour, and Haley and Michael.
He was rendered speechless.
I was
for the first time in his life.
Totally speechless. And, so long story short, that led us to the music video that was directed by Rob and 49ers Studios. And the team, gave us the studio and brought the fog and the production. And then they also invited us to play halftime at Monday Night Football in front of 70,000 people.
I saw that.
Yeah. And it's one of the things that we're finding ironic now is that, we filmed it and the stadium was empty, right? We didn't have people in it. And now, that might be how the season
eerie,
is happening. It's just crazy.
That is crazy.
So, it's crazy. But I think, back to a question you asked a while ago, why for the UK, I think that because of the messaging in the song and just everything about it, that really is who we are, especially as we're essentially introducing ourselves to the UK.
Yeah.
You want to show people who you are before you start branching off. And I think that song really represents a lot of what we stand for. So
nice. And at the end of 2019 as well, you released your first album, which is the same title. How was that? That must have been incredible, putting a full body of work out there.
Thank you. Yeah, it felt so good to have a full body of work out. And it was, a work in progress. Like actually since the very beginning of our duo, we, one of the first song we wrote together is actually called The Price I Pay, and it made its way on the album. It kind of stood the test of time. And so it felt great to put, all the different sides of our artistry that still felt like it had that through line of who we were, but to put it all on one project and get it out. And of course, we couldn't have predicted that everything would have shut down as soon as but it still felt good to release it and have it out there.
What does that do in terms of sort of picking it up again? Because I assume you had a whole way of, a whole schedule plan for pushing it. Does this want to make you move on from it, or will you pick it up like once everything's over, or?
I think, it was just one of those things. I think to answer your question, it definitely makes us want to pick it up. There has to be some awareness on our part, certainly that the songs are out there.
Right.
But there are certain ones that, not everyone is like the UK where, you guys seem to go deep and find the album. Whatever. So I think we're gonna continue to release the songs that we had intended to put, let's say, a focus on or highlight. But we have been writing, during this period of time, and we're always working on new music. And I think we'll have, new music as well that reflects the times that we're in, that reflects our daughter. So all of that will be in process as well. But we're really proud of this record and definitely want to give it a shot.
Good. Do you have a standard songwriting process then, or are you quite impulsive, or are you we'll sit down and write type people?
It kind of has been different for each of the songs that's on the album. And some of them have been, very planned. And we do like to plan, especially if it's co-writing, collaborating with other people. We like to plan that. But usually if there's something that comes to one of us that we start or that we finish together, it's pretty spontaneous. Like it will just feel like it comes down from the sky, and you just have to stop the world and write it. So otherwise you might miss it. So it's kind of been a balance of both.
Cool. Yeah. Do you miss performing live? You must do.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there is an energy. Sometimes when we're doing the live streams, and I'm sitting here with my acoustic guitar, and I'm a mediocre acoustic guitar player as it is, but you kind of start to do this. But really, what I want to do is run over to a lead guitar player that's just shredding it.
Mm.
I want to sweat all over everything. And so, I think we missed that from a performing standpoint, but also I think, connecting with people and hopefully uplifting people the way that music is done for us is the reason that we do this. And so, it has been, the virtual concerts are a nice consolation, but, we're excited. We love the meet and greets. We love looking out at people.
There's nothing like it, it's so great.
It'll be really cool for you to see what a big UK audience is like. I guarantee they'll be singing every single song. I guarantee it.
Oh my gosh. Wait.
That's what we're like. That's what we're like. So let's close off on some lighter ones then. Or they could be more difficult. If you could only pick one meal for the rest of your lives, what would it be? I know it's hard.
Lasagna with a lot of red sauce, a lot of extra red sauce.
That's a really tough question,
isn't it?
A meal. This is a meal, not a food. It's like a meal.
A meal.
I love chili.
Okay.
I love chili.
Man, we would be struggling in the summer months. That would be hard. Lasagna and chili.
Those are some carby, stodgy meals.
Like 400 pounds.
And favourite drink?
My gosh, I'm having the weirdest cravings for different drinks right now.
Brilliant. That's amazing.
But normally wine.
Okay, good.
A great glass of wine, although that's not right now. Right now it's more orange juice, something kind of boring like that. But
yeah, I actually love juicing. So there's this is not, there's no one that's going to listen to this and say, oh yeah, me too, I agree with what I like carrot and garlic and celery, and those juices seem to really fuel me and certainly help when we're on the road. So lots of times when we travel, I'll bring my little juicer and make a mess all over the hotel room.
I think people should go with my wine.
Wine's good.
Yeah, I think I win.
I mean, it would be cooler if I said gin and tonic, which I do.
Celery.
Yeah. We'll go with wine, especially you guys coming from California. You've got some great vineyards over there, haven't you?
Yes.
So, what's next for you guys then? What's the plan?
Well, I guess we're we're trying to still plan things for this year, but it's a little hard. Like everybody, things are tentative.
We're releasing our song "Drinking About You" will be coming out to radio here. We were supposed to release it at the ACM Awards in April.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be a featured performer at the radio remotes here. So right now I think we're sitting back though to make sure it's the right time. As far as the UK, and we can't announce anything officially, but we have three different festivals, possibly four, penciled in, and I say penciled just because nobody knows.
The whole world
and we've also talked to a couple different artists about touring together in the UK. So we're really excited. I think for us next year, coming over to the UK is going to be a big part of the year. And in the meantime, we just we're going to continue to do virtual concerts and try to make sure that the times are conducive to when people in the UK can tune in. And on June 25th, we're doing a Netflix party for the movie Walk Ride Rodeo that Hail Mary was featured in. So we're just going to kind of keep doing that and keep our eye on how everything is playing out.
Perfect. Brilliant. Well, let's leave it there. Thank you both so much for coming on. I hope everything goes well with your daughter. Best of luck. And hopefully we'll see you in the UK very soon.
We hope to, and this was so much fun. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you.
So nice to meet you. Thank you.
Great to meet you.
The brilliant Hayley and Michaels there. Thanks so much for them for coming on the show, and thanks to Luke from Lion Tree Music for sorting that one out for me. Fun fact, I recorded this interview in my bedroom, and Shannon really liked the colour of my walls. So much so that I had to move the iPad towards the walls. Fun fact there. Hayley and Michaels' current single, Hail Mary, is out now, as is their album of the same name. You can find out more about them on hayleyandmichaels.com. If you like what you've heard from the show, please do like, follow, subscribe, etc., to the podcast. Give it a review, all that good stuff. It really does help. If you want to contact the show, you can do so on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, or drop an email to totalcountrypod@gmail.com. That's all for now. Join me next time as I sit down and chat with UK country sensation Louise Parker. Thanks for listening. I'm off now. I've been Kevin. You've been great. Until next time, stay safe, keep it country. Bye for now.